Howdy guys, Paul here. Figured I'd talk to you guys about bumper pull versus gooseneck. It's a topic that I'm surprised it's a question that I'm surprised a lot of people aren't asking. Very important one. Keep in mind I'm talking about trailers that I use very often. 30 to 36 footers. So let's just keep it simple. Let's just talk about 30 footers. Now, when would one be beneficial to the other? If you have any experience with pulling, either or both, I should say, you guys would say, gooseneck's hands down. But the question is, when is it okay to get away with the bumper pull? Or what would be the idea here, the ideal condition where you should go one or another? Because clearly, you get your bed space with the bumper pull. And a gooseneck takes up all that, most of your bed space. Puts you in a little situation that guys that need their bed space all of a sudden need more flatbed space, meaning their trailer has to get bigger because of their pickup bed being full. So it primarily comes down to one little thing, if you do in-town driving, guys, those guys doing excavation or construction workers typically get away with this because they're doing equipment. Equipment is something solid, something heavier, something they can load properly for the most part, majority of the time, of course. You can get away with the bumper pull. And I say get away because this is highly advised to be in town only. On a 30 footer, as soon as you load up something lighter, taller profile, and you go down the interstate, guys, it is suicidal. It is no joke. Unless you live in a perfect state where the roads are nice and straight and there ain't no wind blowing, you'll be fine. But as soon as you get a little bit of wind, it becomes very sketchy. And I don't know about where you guys all, the roads are crap out here. So especially like when you're going through a pass, it starts rocking your truck up and down. Well, imagine if you're having side winds and you're getting rocked real hard up and down with that bumper pull. It's a matter of seconds before it jackknifes you. It puts you together, or scissors you, whatever people call it. It's really bad. So, as y'all could notice, in my company, I don't own a single bumper pull because an inexperienced driver, the guy's going down, he can kill himself, kill other people. A experienced driver still can kill himself and other people. That's a position that I am not willing to put anyone in. Numerous times I've contemplated about getting a single car little trailer, single car hauler or whatever. It's just a little utility trailer. You can throw a bobcat on it. You could do little pulls around town. My biggest concern is once I get that thing in the yard and there's something little that needs to get hauled, and all of a sudden these guys, man, I can't control everything. They're going to hook up that trailer and go out of town, and then they're going to load up something on the way back, and there's too many variables that are out of my control. So the bumper pull becomes a big liability issue for me. But around town, and if I could figure out a way that thing doesn't leave Spokane, I think I would have bought one by now. So no matter how good you are, a bumper pull will get you in trouble on the freeway, meaning interstate speeds, at least where I'm around. Starts rocking you. You have to load it properly. That's out of the question. Your trailer has to be loaded properly. Even then, like for example, from Spokane to Seattle, there's a couple passes, and those passes rock the truck. And if you got a bumper pull, it only makes it worse. If y'all can understand where the weight is on that bumper pull. So it has all the leverage in the world to continuously rock your truck. Where a gooseneck, it's over the axle. I think it's like an inch in front of your rear axle. Anyway you spin it, that gooseneck ain't gonna rock your truck anywhere near, or have the ability to rock your truck anywhere near as the bumper pull. Let's say both of them are loaded properly. So that's the biggest thing, guys. Why would one want a bumper pull over a gooseneck at this point, you would ask? Hey, it's for those guys that need their bed space, which fits them perfectly. If they're punting around town, a few miles here, a few miles there, ain't no big deal. You ain't going high speeds, even if you go on the freeway. You know your surroundings, you know your roads, you know what you're up against, and that goes for like those guys that run every single day, pretty much the same routes. And you guys that have pulled bumper pulls, you know what I'm talking about. There's nothing wrong with them, pulling a single car. The problem's not there. I pull a single car cross country, no problem. It's those high profile loads, and a lot of times they're light. You'd say, oh yeah, better, it has less less weight to rock you. Well, what about side winds? It has all that profile to push you. So anyway, you spin it. It's the high profile situation that I cannot control that will get my guys in a very bad situation. So that's why I stay away from bumper pulls. So let's recap real quick. 30-foot bumper pull versus gooseneck. If you're doing local stuff, you're not hitting interstate, freeway, highway speeds very frequently, I should say, no more than 20-30%. You should definitely just do a bumper pull if it fits your needs and if you really need that bed space. Now, if you really don't care about bed space, still go with the gooseneck, man. You can't go wrong with the gooseneck. It handles the load better. It can handle more weight. Just a better, safer setup all around. As I said, nothing wrong with the bumper pull. It's just there's room for more. There's room for more of a bigger disaster to happen with experienced or unexperienced people. If you got to load that foam, let's say styrofoam, foam insulation for that contractor, and he needs to go down the interstate, it doesn't take long to jackknife you guys. It's a matter of seconds. So there you have it. If you're doing interstate, over the road stuff, just forget it. Just stick with the gooseneck and forget about the bumper pull. I mean, we got local dealerships, dealerships, and they got one-car trailers and their goosenecks, and it looks funky. It's like, man, that's an overkill. But no, the guys, the dealership knows what they're doing. And, I mean, it looks funky to me, I'm a guy that says, yeah, gooseneck, but at that point, I'd really contemplate for a bumper pull, car hauler, single car hauler. But nope, guys are smart. The dealerships are smart for hooking up their, they got them Chevy pickups with gooseneck one car haulers. All right, so couldn't be more transparent than that, and couldn't be more self-explanatory. It is pretty self-explanatory, but couldn't be more forward about it. And underline the things that will get you, and they will bite you so hard. If you make it out alive, you're never gonna get behind a truck with a bumper pull behind it. It just gets sketchy. Now, for a fact, let's just say for a fact, I wasn't going to talk about this, but let's just say for a fact. I don't know if you guys can see on your right-hand side right now in that yard. Oh, it's gone. Those white blocks. That's what insulation looks like, styrofoam insulation. Back to what I was saying. Like, say for a fact, let's say you are going to be calling low profile, like I'm talking like rebar, flat metal, steel, like really low profile. You could look into it. I wouldn't have a problem pulling it. Have yourself a nice pickup, meaning your pickup's not running 235s or 245 tires. You guys got to consider your patch. How much contact you got with the road. So if you're not, you're running, decent 285 to 315 ratio with patch, you're fine. I'd feel fine hauling up to 10,000 pounds on a bumper pull rebar. I mean, I've done 8,000 on Gramps. I don't know if you guys know who Gramps is. Gramps is my 96 Dodge 12 valve that's mildly tuned. Did just fine. There's no problems about it. It's a very low profile load, and the rebar is even lower than what I hauled 8,000 in. At 8,000, Gramps had no problem hauling it. So anyway, boys, That's what I have to underline. That's what I have to stress. That's what I have to tell you guys. If I could save someone's life or help somebody out, this is all this channel's about, especially on this bumper pull versus gooseneck. I hope none of you get yourself into a situation where you're so sketched out. You're like, oh Lord, am I going to make it out of this one? Once it starts whipping you and trying to scissor you up and put you into the embankment, Lord, may save you, all of you guys, from that kind of situation. I've been there. It was a one-time deal. My brother-in-law's been in that situation. It was a one-time deal. He got into it once, and he got into that situation. He was hauling AC units. It was like a few AC units. I mean, things like 1,500 pounds. What could possibly go wrong? Well, they're decently profiled. Those AC units were about 6 feet tall, like 3 units in a row. I mean, I think we needed like 16 or 18 feet of deck. I mean, really dinky little janky load that I had to go to Seattle, and the gooseneck was down. So borrowed my buddy's bumper pull and went out. And he said, Paul, never again am I going to hook up to this thing. Forget it. He was pissed, and he was very straightforward and pretty self-explanatory. The guy's not hooking up to a bumper pull. Leave town with anything. So as I said, still high profile. And then me, shoot, what the heck was I doing? Oh, I was hauling a load of steel. Why was I hauling that steel with the bumper pull, my buddies? I don't know, but it was about 4 years ago. That was the first and last time I hooked up to that trailer. It's just, guys, it's suicidal. I can't stress it enough. So, recap it. If you're gonna do interstate speeds, make sure there's no variables, no possibilities of anything high profile. If you're positive you're gonna be hauling something low profile and it's once in a blue moon situation, meaning once in a while, be cautious and go for it. There's nothing suicidal about pulling a car in a one-car trailer. There's nothing suicidal about hauling a rebar, flat steel. It's just as soon as you get into that high profile, heavy or light, you are going to be in deep trouble. Anyways, guys, I couldn't stress it off enough. I mean, I just can't be more blunt about it. So anyways, told you what I had to tell you. Stay out of trouble, guys. Know what you're doing and enjoy life and work hard. That's the new secret nowadays. It's called work. Okay, when you work, good things happen. I might put out a video. I have a guy that worked for me for 6 years, and I did something for him no one expected. And yeah, I'll do a video. I'll find half an hour to do it. I'll do it one day. Anyways, God bless you all, and have a mighty fine day.